scored a bunch of touchdowns.
Bo Nix has been a system merchant this year. Doesn't seem like it, but like looking at him, like a lot of his throws are made behind the line of scrimmage. Just running,
They kind of have to be.
Just running off the
Yeah,
line.
I mean, it's illegal.
It's illegal throwing.
Not him throwing in front of the line of scrimmage.
That's just, they'll never win a game if he does that.
He's like third to last in like air yards per throw.
That's fine though as a rookie.
Yeah, but he's also
they're all about check.
Yeah, but he's also second to last in on target percentage.
I mean, I didn't notice from the beginning of the year.
He's not throwing
towards
that
the end of the year.
He's not throwing it that accurately either.
He's not running
on
as
the
much,
deep
too.
ball. What's his accuracy for the season?
I don't know.
Look it up.
Probably not.
He's not that diehard of a Bo Nix fan.
No.
For someone who
you
called,
don't got the jersey yet?
No.
For someone who called them drafting him.
Everyone called them drafting him.
Everybody called them drafting him. I mean, even I did because I was like, they're gonna do it.
Everyone was like, Sean Payton's just got a massive heart-on for this kid.
And they're like, we're gonna do it. And I was like, I hope you don't, but sure.
There were a lot of impressive rookies this year, though.
I mean, it was 66%.
It's not bad.
That's not terrible.
Who's under him? Who's under him in percentage right now? Name some quarterbacks.
He just went to Bo Nix's stats.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I just went to Denver stats. Let's go this way.
Going for like a Tom Cruise and the Last Samurai type deal back there, or
Lane did point out today. He asked me, he's like, "When's the last time you got your hair cut?" And he said, "Yeah."
Sure did.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
That's what he said.
I'm trying to with my length. It's gonna be a minute though. It just gets in the way. It just like
In the
falls.
way of what?
Like when it gets wet, it like falls in front of my face, and it's like basically like down to here, and all that.
Oh God.
Well, I mean,
I know.
you see the rest of the members of my family completely understand
What
They
would we
bald?
understand?
that they can't grow hair. Okay, so tied with him at also 66.3% is Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, but he didn't play all the games. I want something. Give me below him. Rattle off the names.
They played a decent amount of games.
At
Yeah.
66.2%,
Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
Sam's having a pretty good year.
Did he have a pretty good year?
Yeah,
last
don't
game
don't
was
look
not
at
great.
the name.
Threw more interceptions.
You gotta look
threw
at what
12,
they've
threw 12.
done.
Threw the same amount of interceptions, just threw more touchdowns and more.
How many playoff quarterbacks are below him?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Am I get on the other hand here?
No, that's it.
No,
That's
single
still
handed.
pretty good though.
5 out of 14. That's decent.
He's above the league.
And
He's
he's a
above
rookie.
the league average.
Yeah.
He's a.
So what the fuck you complaining about over there?
He's a.
You sound like a
sure.
Miami Dolphins fan now who bitches about two.
He's
every
not
season.
throwing 75%. Fuck.
He's a rookie, but by the end of the season, he'll be 1 year younger than Tua Tagovailoa.
That's fine. It's called experience. And he'll have,
College experience.
and if they win, guess what? He'll have more playoff wins than Tua Tagovailoa.
Jalen Hurts.
Tua's only played in one playoff game.
Yeah. It wasn't that good.
He's against Kansas City in that freezing,
Yeah.
negative
Put a
20.
fucking Hawaiian in the negatives to see how that worked out.
But then above him is Derek Carr, so I mean it's not like that.
Yeah, but again, only played how many games?
Because he missed like the last 5.
Yeah. 10 games.
Yeah, so he missed quite a bit.
Yeah.
260
Plus, he had those first 2 big outlier games where everyone's just like, Saints are for real. And then they're like, wait, never mind. No, they're not.
Yeah.
He is tied in third for last for interceptions. And that's like top, like Baker Mayfield leads the league with 16.
Oh, okay.
But he threw 41
I was
touchdowns.
wondering where you were going with it.
Yeah.
But rookies are meant to throw interceptions for the most part.
There's two tied for the league lead with 16. And it's
Anthony Richardson?
No.
I thought he threw some.
It's old Kirk.
Oh, yeah, it was Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I forgot about that. who Atlanta says they are proud to have as their backup next year.
Penix played well.
Played well enough, but
Yeah,
again,
I mean, for coming in late,
3 games. You're gonna risk
Yeah,
your,
I mean,
you're gonna
it's-
risk your thing on 3 games.
they kept him in, but one of the games was against Carolina. But Carolina stepped it up at the end of the year. Like, they were a completely different team
Yeah,
at the end of the year. People went in there thinking, oh, we're playing the Panthers. It's like, no, Panthers have been...
but I
Playing
mean, yeah. What they lost to the Saints, right? This last week. Is that who they played?
Who?
This last week, Atlanta.
I thought they played Panthers.
Did they play
Last game,
Panthers
didn't
on
they?
last week?
Isn't that the game that went to overtime? And they lost?
Is that the game? Was it the Panthers?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Panthers beat them in overtime, yeah.
Panthers beat them in overtime.
Can't
Yeah.
remember. who
Because,
the
I mean, there were some
Panthers
good games
was.
for the final week.
Yeah.
Because there were 2 that went to overtime.
Yeah.
2 of the 1
The
o'clock
Denver
games.
game was a fucking didn't need to really happen.
Yeah. That's why I knew
Should just
even
count
going
it as a
into
bye
it,
week.
Just give them the win
Yeah.
and call it a day.
I was like,
Oh, Carson Wentz, man, tell you what, he knows how to make it happen.
I still don't think that Kansas City is going to 3-peat. I don't know.
It's a tough battle. The fact they have home field all the way throughout may help, and the fact that the league loves them helps.
I think this year it's NFC's to win.
I just don't know who's going to stop them.
There was a bunch of teams that could have stopped them. They just got...
Buffalo.
Yeah, but they won all
Buffalo
their
did.
one-score games this year.
Yeah, but come on. Look at that Raiders game.
The one Buffalo game, they're just pulling what New England used to pull all the time. New England would lose to the team they thought they were going to face later in the playoffs, and then that team would show up with the exact same game plan and do absolutely nothing.
To be honest, me and Lane were talking about it today. If Denver wins their first game, I think they can beat Kansas City.
It makes one of us.
Got a shot.
They have the defense.
It makes one of us.
See, but if they lose, then Pittsburgh will have to play them next week because we're going to beat the Ravens.
You hope.
If Denver,
I have a lot of confidence.
If Denver wins in the first week, so if Denver beats Buffalo,
Denver's got to beat Buffalo,
Yeah.
then they'll versus Kansas City.
I know.
But
that's going to happen.
if
Sure
it doesn't
is.
happen, the Steelers are going to go into Arrowhead, whoop up on Patty Mahomes, and we're going to the AFC Championship.
Do you think it looks bad on Buffalo if they beat Denver and then turn around and lose their second round? So then it just adds to the people that they have beat in the playoffs. Like, have you seen that list of like second or third string quarterbacks who's Buffalo's had to play, teams that barely got in? Like,
You're
Denver's
saying,
gonna be
you're
a
saying
team-
if they lose to Denver.
No. If like they beat Denver, but then go on and lose to a team that won their division or did well, because like based in the past, Buffalo's always beaten.
Well, the
shitty
next
teams
the
that
next
barely got
team
in
they would get, depending.
would be it just depends on who how the seeding goes.
Yeah, you'd either get the Chargers.
But most of the teams, other than Denver, all had a playoff spot locked up going into the last week. Denver was the only team that didn't. So, and they have a rookie quarterback.
But that's Denver's fault.
It is.
Because if Denver won the previous week, they would have had it locked up. But then they had to beat.
It was the same with Miami. Wouldn't have had that chance if they'd have just beat Arizona. They let Arizona come back from being down 2 scores, 3 scores.
the Kansas City Argonauts.
Yeah. And then they would have, I think it was the Tennessee game was another one they let them come back and win.
Yeah. And then you just
So
let
it's-
Aaron Rodgers throw all
Yeah.
over you.
They really did. I was like,
I was like, that son of a bitch. Can't throw one versus Buffalo, but goes to Miami and just slings out 4. He's handing them out like Oprah was handing out cars. Like, you get one, you get
to be
one.
fair though, if you'd have just took my advice, you'd have won.
No one in their right mind would have started Snoop Huntley.
No,
over-
that is not the person I said first. Who did I say you
said
should have
Joe
picked up?
Flacco first.
Yes.
And
said
I
you should
have
pick up Joe
Jonathan
Flacco.
Taylor. And I have
Who'd they
Jonathan
play?
Taylor.
Who did the Colts play that week?
I can't remember.
They played terrible defense.
Which is why I was like, cool, Jonathan Taylor's going to get a bunch of fucking points. And guess what? He did.
Who did the Colts play?
He just didn't get enough.
Because I said, I was like, I don't like Aaron Rodgers against Buffalo. I was like, it's just not a good
The thing
matchup
is,
for
though,
him.
when he played them earlier in
They're
the
playing
year,
the Giants. I was like, I like Joe Flacco. against the
Giants have a decent defense. Their offense is hot garbage.
I mean, Flacco put up 330 and 2 touchdowns.
Well, yeah, sure, you say it now, but again,
And Jonathan Taylor put up 125, 2 touchdowns. So they both got theirs.
yeah, well, I knew
That
Jonathan
was
Taylor
Pearson
was going to do
Pittman's
it.
game, too, where they
But
both
my
went over
thing
100.
is that you look at Aaron Rodgers, the past 2 weeks prior, decent games, multiple touchdowns through his first 300-yard game, and when he played Buffalo prior this in the earlier this year, he had a decent enough game. So why wouldn't I, in my right mind, also owning Devontae Adams, his wide receiver, expect him to not be able to put up 200 yards and 1 touchdown, maybe 2, with 1 interception? That's solid reasonability. Could you see that?
I mean, they played Jacksonville.
200 yards. You know.
One of the games was against Jacksonville.
Okay, what was the other game?
In the other game, they put up 9 points.
Okay, well, I'm talking about what?
Those were their 2 games before Buffalo.
Then in 3
They
weeks,
played
I
the
don't
Rams.
know.
And then they played us, which they lost.
But how'd he do versus y'all?
He did 339, 1 touchdown.
Okay, I would have loved that. I would have liked 339 and 1 tutty. That wins it. You know what doesn't win it? 111 yards and 2 fucking interceptions. And the defense being like, who do we cover? This guy? The water cooler guy. I'm going to get on him. Or I could have won if Keon Coleman doesn't jump out of the sky in Moss's 3 fucking Jets cornerbacks that are like hands in their pockets like, well, he threw that ball. Wow, okay.
That ball is
Ball is in the air.
Was that the James Conner game too?
Oh, I got fucked by him too.
Yeah, I did too.
Full go.
In our league.
He's a full go, my guy. Don't you guys worry. Hey, you got Michael Carter as your backup just in case? Get rid of him, because guess what? James Conner's full go.
That in our league, because I even put him in
2
the
series,
flex.
and then what's he doing? He's pulling his pud on the fucking sideline, riding riding a bike. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
I know, and then Joey wants to blow up me and Donnie and text asking about the money for the league, and I'm like, still hasn't
gotten it yet.
I mean, I haven't gotten mine. I could get it from Cody, but I was like, I'm not really worried about it. We didn't decide it was going to be a money league until the end. I asked.
No, it was a money league in the beginning.
Well, no, we said
just
it was we just never
no one moved cash. I was like the only one that moved cash.
I told Joey, I was like, you got lucky you won. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, Kittle caught 1 catch in garbage time, which literally gave him
I would have liked that
25
1 catch at garbage time.
I was like, and James Conner put up 1 point. You beat me by 0.4, and James Conner put up 1.8. I literally put him in the flex just so I could play Adam Thielen if James Conner didn't go. Adam Thielen put up 25 points.
Probably should have played.
Probably should have, but everybody else, James Conner's supposed to be full go. I'm like, okay, it was a great matchup.
I'll put you this: it was my mistake because you know what? Even though he was termed full go, they had nothing to play for. They were already kicked out.
And that's true.
You had nothing going for you. So why the dude you just give an extension to, why put him in that line? That's my mistake. That's hindsight. Not thinking about it, but I was like, maybe they want to verse who they played, like the Rams or something. That's who they played against.
No, I want to say it was.
I thought they were playing. No, the week 17. I thought they were versing the Rams or something like that. I thought they were versing a team. Who were they versing? Maybe it was the Panthers. I don't know. Check.
Like the Seahawks or something?
I don't know. I thought it was a team inside their division.
I thought it was that.
Or is a team that where it was like you could still mess up their playoff hopes.
No.
Check though. If it was the Panthers, I mean either way.
I don't think it was Panthers played the Saints.
I feel like it might have been because that game might have went to OT, and that's where Hubbard.
Yeah, Panthers in overtime.
So that was the Hubbard game where he.
Let me
got
see if that was
in.
the game. Let me look at his stats.
I don't know if it was. That might have been the game James Conner got hurt.
No, that was the game James Conner went off and then
Okay.
ended up getting hurt.
And then who'd they play next week?
And it was the, it was the Rams.
Yeah.
Because then they played.
So what they were trying to do is like, let's play spoiler to a division team, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, that's a little bit to play for, but in hindsight, it's like, yeah, nothing really to play for. He was hurt.
Yeah, because he had 4 carries for 4 yards
on a
and
short,
2 catches for 4.
On a short week. And things I picked up Michael Carter. I stashed him. I was like, just in case. Looking at the report every 4 hours, be like, he didn't practice today. Okay, now he did limited. He's walking through. Okay, he's a full go. So I'm like, perfect. ESPN's like, he's going to get 16.8 points. Write it down. Put it to bed. They have Michael Carter at 0 points projected because there's no way he gets on the field. And then they're like, yeah, he's sit. You enjoy some quiet time. You did good.
And then Adam Thielen puts up 25. For me to lose by 0.4, less than a reception.
Well, I'm so sad. How much money difference did you lose out on?
I don't know.
I lost out on $700.
You did?
Because Aaron Rodgers threw one more extra pick.
You lost by 1 point. Well, technically
1.1.
3, but you had 2.
Technically 3 because I had a 2-point advantage, but still.
Kind of your fault, though. You did trade him some people that helped.
I traded him Josh Jacobs. That's it. Yeah. And like I said, if I would have traded him Kareem Hunt and I kept Josh Jacobs in, I lose 2 games, which means I don't get home field advantage all the way through, and I don't get the 3 points. It wasn't like Josh Jacobs went off either. He got double digits in the championship game. I think he got like 10 point or maybe 11 point something. Nothing substantial, but
Yeah, I don't remember how well.
what killed me was just Josh Allen throwing all over the Jets. Just like, woo, woo, woo. Let me close my eyes. Hey, you, turn. Boom, you caught it. Fuck you.
I lost towards the end of the season when Josh Allen put up like 14.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
That
put it
is
to you like
okay.
this. It's also, again, my other fault for trusting a Jet.
Never can.
There's 2 things in this world. You don't trust a Jet. You don't trust a Brown.
Or a wet.
Because the Jets are going to
Put
jet.
Jaguar on that list too.
No, I don't know. Because...
You don't trust
Who
Urban
you gonna
Meyer.
trust?
But the thing
Don't
is,
trust
but
Urban
the
Meyer
thing
in the
is,
nightclub.
the
Can't trust
the
MCT at all.
Jaguars have a chance to be good and all this. But you know what? The Jets are gonna jet, and the Browns are gonna brown. In every facet of the word, they are going to do whatever they can to fuck their shit up. So I shouldn't even have put my trust in them. One
Just like the
iota.
people who trusted George Pickens with his 1 catch for -1 yard in the last game.
Oh, it definitely hurt some people, but it wasn't like George Pickens was the guy that got you there. You know, he helped, but it wasn't like he was the savior of a team. You know? Like,
Yeah, my saviors on my teams, they performed all year because I had Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase.
yeah, performed
They-
you
they
all
just-
the way to the 7th seed and not the playoffs.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
because the way our divisions were set up was stupid.
You know, maybe pick out of the hat better next time.
3rd highest scoring team, and
Maybe
all
go
three-
left instead of right and get that number 2. That way you just run that shit show of a division.
I mean, what do you expect to happen when you have the 3 highest scoring teams in the same division? And
I
they play each
mean-
other twice.
expect you to win.
And then you have Adam's division,
That's
who
what I
are the
fucking did.
4 bottom scorers, and they play each other twice. I'm like, that's easy. That's shooting fish in a barrel. The 4 bottom scorers. A couple of guys gave up after like week 3.
It's like banging fish in a barrel.
Bender over barrel show of the 50 states.
No, it's not a reference.
Yeah, it is from that movie.
What movie?
Now it is.
But all right, so who's y'all Super Bowl?
I lost.
We're selling this.
We
You
do
guys
a,
finished dead last time.
we do a payout.
I don't give a shit about that league. I was dead from the word Christian McCaffrey's
that
not
was
playing.
fine. Yeah, that was fine.
Y'all literally, I think y'all's matchup Did y'all even have a game?
No, we didn't get to play.
Yeah, 'cause
They were like, you two suck so bad. You take the next couple weeks off. Focus on
Actually,
other
I think
things.
you ended up beating him out in points at the end
Just
of the
go
year.
sit over there, play with
Yeah.
the curtains.
Do you do needlepoint? This would be a good time to pick that
That
up.
has to be a good time. No, in one of my leagues, we pay out for the top scorer in the league, and I lost by 4 points.
Mm.
I had outscored the guy who was the league leader in scores. I was down like 500 or 600 points going into the last 2 weeks,
Jesus.
and I ended up like outscoring him like a lot, and I was within striking distance
How many
like
points
the
y'all
last
scored
week.
in a game?
seems like a lot. But go ahead,
Decent-
continue.
decent amount. It might have not have been that much.
I was gonna say.
But like I might have been down maybe 100 or something.
It felt like 500 though in here.
because I kept coming back. Well, I kept outscoring him, and then I kept narrowing the gap, and then I was close enough to take the lead, and the Cowboys had the ball, and I had CD Lamb,
Okay.
but they're the Cowboys, and Cooper Rush doesn't want to throw to CeeDee Lamb.
Tell me about it. I lost one of my games because Cooper Rush overthrows
He's wide open.
Ferguson.
Overthrew Jake Fergie. He needed one catch for 8 yards, and it was 4th and 7.
In that throw, if you'll watch that throw again, CeeDee Lamb is open, wide open in the middle.
Ferguson,
in the middle of the field.
So is Ferguson. They were both open.
The last 2 weeks, I missed out on the playoffs in our league by 1.9 points the last 2 games combined.
Yeah.
The last 2 combined.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love fantasy?
I was like, what the Now, to be
Who
fair,
doesn't love bitching?
the second to last week, Denver's defense brought me back way more than I thought they were going to. That fucking interception that he almost took back and got tackled on like about 40. I was like, you have to be the slowest fucking person to return an interception, and you let one guy catch you.
Yeah, but he caught it at like the 10.
Yeah, but there was no one around him.
He wanted to run 90 yards.
I think we discussed this because there was like no one around him, and then they came out of nowhere.
He ain't gonna make 90 yards.
I'm not gonna make it 90 yards.
And then the other one was fucking who was it that I said I wasn't gonna play anymore? Jaden Reed, yeah, because I needed one catch for 7 yards in that one to win. He gave me 0.
Big old goose. I know what that's
He
like.
had one target, which would have won me the game because it was for a first down. I want to say it was for like 9 yards.
I thought it was short.
Jordan Love threw it in the dirt. Because they counted it as a catch, and then they reviewed it and took it back.
Yeah, you know, it hit that damn thing called the ground. That's what it is.
So I benched it because Joey was like, you probably would have started Jaden Reed in our game. I'm like, no, I wouldn't have.
No.
I was like, you ask Tony.
He's dead.
He was grounded in all my leagues. I literally said,
if I ever see Aaron Rodgers in the world, I'm gonna pretty much do what that
guy did to
Gassino did to Brett Favre. Be like, you fucked me. You owe me $700. You ayahuasca piece of shit. You know what? I'm glad your dad doesn't love you.
Here's some ashwagandha.
I got an enigma for you.
Just chase after him with a syringe and tell him it's a vaccine. He'll rub you.
I'll be like, why are you rubbing yourself in Johnson Johnson? I'm gonna fuck your shit up, bitch.
You know who P. Diddy is?
Anywho, so Super Bowl predictions.
Super Bowl predictions. We got off course.
On the NFC side, I think that's the toughest one, but I think
Lions, that's easy.
the Detroit,
Super
especially
easy.
if injuries don't
Don't even have to think about it.
They got some tough matchups, I think, though. They play, well...
They play nobody. They got the bye.
But I'm saying...
They play another person.
If
They won. They won the rest to get the bye.
Green Bay's been playing pretty good lately.
Didn't they just lose to the Bears?
They did.
Yeah, so...
But they were in the playoffs.
So pretty good.
Yeah, they are just doing solid.
But we all know Chicago actually has good defense.
Green
It's
Bay
their
Pack.
offense that has been terrible.
Yeah, their
Packer
offense,
things.
I think, put up more points than Green Bay's offense. To win the game, that's generally how it works.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Well, the defense usually helps.
Well,
Put up Denver all year. I know.
Regardless, Jalen Hurts is coming back. He's going to play, most likely, this week. So, fuck himself. So, yeah, I think they'll win.
That's the reason why I didn't play Aaron Rodgers, by the way.
Yeah, because Jalen Hurts got concussed. And you know, back in the day, when men were men and not a bunch of fucking vaginas, that he would have just stayed in and played concussed for the next 2 weeks like a goddamn American. But now, it's like, oh, he looks weird for 10 seconds. I don't know who that ref is, but he can go shit in a hole.
Russ is your shit.
He could use an outhouse?
No, I want him to go dig a physical hole, shit in it, and then fall down.
In the hole?
Yeah, in the hole.
Just fall down.
Just forward.
Just shit in the hole and just fall forward.
Why would he fall forward? The hole's behind him.
You didn't say that, though. You just said just
He's
fall.
shitting in the hole. How does that even work?
He propels himself
Is
forward.
he this way and just like flops down? Like, I don't know.
Now he's gonna
Is
have
he hanging
something-
ass over?
Now he's gonna have something to hold on to. It's not just a hole.
Well,
A hole with
you know what?
handrails,
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers can hold his hands and then he can drag them both down there fucking with him.
That's a darkness retreat right there.
Yeah.
You want to go on a trip, my friend?
So, I still think it's the Lions to lose regardless of injuries. They're getting Montgomery back. There's talk of Hutch that if they make to the NFC Championship,
Yeah,
he's got a
he'll be
good
back.
shot to be
Yeah.
back. Super Bowl, definitely. He ain't going to miss that. So I still think it's theirs. Their biggest competition? I mean, what? Could be the Vikings again, but the Vikings have trouble beating them. You know, lost twice. Tampa Bay's... They're there.
They can score points with them.
Tampa
Bay's
Bay's that one that might go on a run just because
Tampa Bay's got a chance to go point heavy,
you'll
but
overlook them.
But Denver is like known for just like, we're shooting this out. Cool, let's do it. We're ready. Who's the third
Denver.
seed?
Denver.
Not Denver. Sorry, Detroit.
Detroit.
DE word. My
DE
bad.
words.
My apologies. Who's the third seed again? It's not the Rams, is it?
No.
Is that not?
No. Maybe.
I think it is the Rams.
I think it might be the
Rams possibly if Stafford goes on a little mini run, but personally, I mean, I guess their biggest competition I would say is the Eagles. You know, because the Eagles got a decent enough defense that's been showing out. And if Jalen Hurts is healthy, you don't got to rely on fucking Kenny Pickett, then I would say they're their biggest shot, but really it's Detroit's to lose on their own. AFC-wise...
The Bucks were the 3 seed.
Oh, my apologies. Who
The
gives
Rams
a
were the
shit?
4 seed.
Okay, either way. And then AFC-wise, I mean, both the Bills and Ravens quarterbacks are playing, you know,
Lights out.
MVP.
MVP
Yeah,
level
lights out.
football, yeah.
But I am wearing my Steelers Super Bowl jersey, so Steelers going to the Super Bowl. We're going to kick the Lions' ass, and we're going to keep that Bobby Lane curse alive. Boom!
I think if Baltimore gets past you guys, they have a really good chance to go to the Super Bowl.
They beat Buffalo?
I think they beat Kansas City too.
Well, I'm not shocked about the Kansas City, but you think they can beat Buffalo?
Yeah, I think they
Josh
beat
Allen,
Buffalo. Yeah.
Superman, all day.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, all roads lead to Kansas City. So if you're in the AFC, you have to go through Kansas City, and I think them winning the one-score games this year just.
But the thing is,
system improved, they
it's
can win.
gonna eventually come back to get you. Because I was that same way too with fantasy. I'm like, I won 8 games in a row. I'm like, I can't keep this up.
I can't keep this.
I can't keep this up.
There's a loss
I need a
coming.
loss in here. And I was hoping to catch one at the tail end of the year. Didn't. And then it just rode. And then where's
And
it?
then week one-
Where's the loss happen? Freaking national championship.
And then week 1 of the playoffs when he had a
Oh,
bye,
week 1 of
he
playoffs.
almost broke the league record for points scored. He
Yeah.
didn't play anybody.
185, and they're just like, cool, we kicked that nothing's ass.
You did a great job.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was livid. But regardless, if it's not the Steelers, who, you know, woohoo, I feel like Buffalo. I think it's Josh Allen's time, you know? Break that Buffalo. Because basically he wins that Super Bowl, they're already building the statue.
They anoint him king of Buffalo
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point in time.
So I feel like it's theirs to lose, and he's doing it with like not a lot of talent, which is crazy.
And he's beat both 1 seeds.
Yes. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Josh Allen has to play
Phenomenal. Life.
Yeah.
perfect.
He has to continue his MVP
He can't have an
performance.
off game.
You have 142 yards like you did against the Patriots in fantasy football playoffs. Not that I'm salty. Then you're not going to be able to beat. Well, you're not
Any
gonna
of
be
those
able to
teams.
beat one of these teams.
Because Lamar Jackson's not going to have an off game.
You might not be able to beat.
Oh, he can
Denver.
have an off game, Lamar. can.
But I don't think he's going to.
You might not be able to beat Denver with 100.
The one team though that can make him have an off game though is the team that he's playing this week, and it's Pittsburgh. Especially with Zay Flowers not playing
As I
anymore.
said, that's the only team that is like Baltimore's kryptonite. The other teams, I think they can beat. Not necessarily easily, but I don't think they have too much trouble with most of the teams in the AFC.
I mean, I do think
Because the Kansas
personally.
City game, we all know that game.
I
is gonna
think
be-
personally, Texans are one and done. Chargers should beat them.
Yeah, I think
Which is
so.
why I was really hoping to keep that 5th seed.
Yeah.
But, you know, it happens.
Yeah, I think Chargers win that game. Denver can surprise us. Don't know. I think that game's gonna be closer than people think.
Tough versus Buffalo. in my
But
opinion.
Denver's defense
Now, don't get me wrong.
is really good.
That's secondary. You got Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And
I mean, the
some
whole
people's
defense is going to give Josh Allen a run.
I think it depends. It's going to be Josh Allen winning with his legs.
Yeah.
1,000%. I'm going to say 2 rushing touchdowns for Josh Allen.
If they get the pressure on Josh Allen, they can win. But they got to have pressure on him. Like, they can't let him get escape. They got to have that spy and get him outside the pocket.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Yeah. But if any defense is going to do it, it would be, like, on the AFC side, it would either be Pittsburgh's or Denver's. I think those are the 2 best defenses on the AFC side.
Yeah, I'd be in agreement there. We'll see.
Even Kansas City defense, I don't think so.
But you are dealing with a rookie QB. First time in the playoffs, on the road.
He's not afraid to take it with his legs either.
I know.
He stopped doing it.
Well, that's the
halfway through
thing.
season.
So right now, the only thing over Denver is that they're playing with house money. No one thought that they were going to be making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were looking for improvement, which they got, but no way people were like going to be playoffs. So it's like you're playing with house money. Personally, Sean Payton Bowenix, like Denver's already ecstatic that you are where you're at right now. So this is where you're just like throw the whole playbook at him and see what you get.
We couldn't really play with any other money. We're busy paying your quarterback.
Yeah,
that's right. Which Atlanta might be doing next year. I don't know if they're going to keep Russ. I'll put it as if he loses this game, like profusely, like how shitty they've been playing, I say he's not back. You sign Fields to like a short deal, like that
2, maybe 3 years,
like that Jordan Love prove it year, and then
2 with an option. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2 with an option.
And then you say, "Hey, Kurt, why don't you bring that ass over here? We'll treat you right."
Yeah.
And see, and then try it again. And if it doesn't work again,
draft somebody.
Fuck it, trade for Zach Wilson. See what happens.
Yep, every other Jet quarterback that's went on another team has got some success.
The 2?
You name another one that's left since Zach Wilson. In the past, it's been those 3 for the most part.
Mike White, he hasn't had success.
Not yet. But he also didn't start them a lot of games. He was mainly
started
backup.
like 5 or 6. Like
because
people were
Wilson.
clamoring for Mike. They were just like, Mike White's the savior.
I don't think he started 5. I think he only started like 2 or 3.
He was that guy.
Look it up, brother. You can look it up.
Because
See how many games
he
he
was
started?
primarily the backup. Zach Wilson was the guy, and they were like, "Yeah, we're tired of your shit."
Well, that's because their hands were tied behind the
And then
back
they got rid of Mike
to a number 2 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you just feel bad for the Jets. They can't get that shit right. But regardless,
I'm wondering at what point in teams that just have gone through quarterback hell, just draft like 6 quarterbacks. Like just empty their quarterback room. Be like, we have no veterans. We have no young prospects. We have 0 quarterbacks.
You pull out Washington.
We're gonna draft 6. Like,
I mean, they did draft 6.
We're just gonna draft and fill the entire quarterback. One of these guys got to be good.
one of them's got to hit.
One of them's got to be good.
We're looking for a Brock Purdy,
We can't
a
miss
Tom
6
Brady.
times.
I don't know if there's a 5th guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Brock Purdy. I wouldn't throw Brock Purdy's name in there.
It was rough.
We'll see how he does. If he gets traded to another team, or if they don't sign, because if they're gonna resign him, but he's not gonna get paid a lot of money.
No, I'd give him a mid-level deal.
Yeah.
And
If he wants more, be like, bro, go somewhere else and try to play like this.
and just try to pitch.
So if I'm
putting a team
personally with Purdy in his contract, they'll sign him. That's obvious.
Yeah, but they're not gonna sign him
I'm
for huge
saying,
money.
well, no, I mean, personally, if he's like, pay me, then they're gonna pay him. But I see him going more the route of how Tom Brady did it. Like, pay me handsomely, not crazy handsomely. I don't need Trevor Lawrence money, but pay me decent contract, good signing bonus, and let's keep people around me, because doesn't go so well when I don't have the people around. He still put up great yards and numbers, but your team lost.
But
So
people that don't get injured as often as the people that are currently
Yeah.
around me.
because I don't know how much longer Christian McCaffrey's got left in the league, and Debo's probably basically got one foot out the door, another on a banana peel, and then your defense, you're gonna have to start paying them crazy amounts of dollars. So it's like, and then once you get we're only paying $1 million for your quarterback, you got to spend it a lot
can
more.
spend-
You can just spend it.
Being reckless spend.
How much do you think he's gonna get paid? I see about 15 a year.
What? 15 a year?
I don't think he gets paid a lot of money.
15 a year?
I'd give
40.
I'd give him 25, 30.
25 max.
I'd give him in the 25, 30 range.
I guarantee you 40 to 45.
I'd pitch him 30 just as the idea of like, hey, we still got to put a
You want to know
team
what he'll
around
do?
you.
He'll take that contract, he'll pull his pants down, wipe his ass with it, and then he'll be like, try again.
Did he pull his pants
Who else is
back?
gonna pay him that money?
He's got to pull his pants
Someone
back.
will pay him that money.
He's just standing there.
The Browns. They're the only ones dumb enough to do that.
He's just
No, there are other teams dumb enough.
Is
But
he
he's
just
been to a
standing there
Super
pantless
Bowl.
while
He's got
So like
decent
Jimmy G's
enough
contract?
numbers. Yeah, and Jimmy G got better money from another
But
team.
where is he now?
Well, it doesn't matter. He's sitting with a
People
sitting with
learn-
a fat wallet.
I think a lot of teams have learned that mistake. We're not taking San Francisco quarterbacks.
Isn't he on a playoff team?
Jimmy?
Yeah, he's on the Rams.
Yeah, he's like third string, second string.
Back up.
He came in through some passes.
But he got picked up, what,
Standard.
midway through the season? I don't think he was there from the start, was he? I think he was a free agent, wasn't he?
Maybe.
He was a free agent from the start, and then they had
They picked
problems
him
with
up,
Stetson
yeah.
Bennett.
But regardless, he still got his bag because San Francisco didn't want to pay him as much, which is perfectly fine. But I don't even think they also weren't saying Jimmy's that guy. You know, like I don't think when he got there.
But I mean, if they didn't pay Jimmy, who literally did the exact same thing that Brock Purdy's doing, do you think they're going to pay Brock Purdy?
I don't think Jimmy was ever top 3 in passing yards in the league.
Took him to, what, 2 Super Bowls?
Took
Or
him
NFC
one.
Championship game and a Super Bowl. I think he took him to 2.
Took is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, but
Yeah.
sure.
But still, same thing Brock Purdy did.
But I'm saying his
Exact same
regular
team. Actually, he didn't have Christian McCaffrey.
his regular season stats are a lot better than Jimmy G's.
He had better weapons, too.
Yeah,
McCaffrey
but
wasn't there for Jimmy G.
but that's the thing though.
Yeah, Debo.
He has performed better than
He was a
Jimmy
running back
G, so he's going to
Jeff
get
Wilson?
that money. Mozart was there.
And Mozart.
Yeah.
Who was the other? There was a third.
Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah Mitchell.
Got it all
Mitchell was the
concerned.
one who was their starter.
Yeah.
Primarily.
Mhm.
But yeah, then they got Christian McCaffrey and they got rid of Jimmy G. So Christian
Yeah,
McCaffrey helped get him to that.
but again, he's
What was
had
almost 1,000 of his passing yards came from Christian McCaffrey, probably on screens. How many
regardless,
receiving yards
it
did he
still
have?
counts as passing yards.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he had way better stats than Jimmy G ever had running that offense. Sure, he has better players, but again, that goes hand in hand. But he will. Plus, again, when Jimmy G was in the market at the quarterback time, the number wasn't 55, 50,
Yeah,
55, 60.
Number one.
The
Dak
number
Prescott
was in the
said
40s.
60 million.
Yeah, like Mahomes set the mark at 50 mil.
So
Like he
Jimmy
was the
G's 2
peak.
best years in San Francisco were 20 yards short of
And he's not
4,000
even in the top 5 now.
and 200 yards short of 4,000.
Okay.
Brock Purdy's stats, his best season is just over 4, and his other season was 37, 38. So basically the same thing as,
What's the touchdowns?
let me see what Jimmy Garoppolo's was.
Touchdown interception. Give me that.
Those 2 years, he was 20 and 12 and 27 and 13.
Okay, so
And a passer
47
rating of
to,
102 one year and 98.7
I don't believe
the
that.
other
47 to 25, and then what's Brock's the past 2 years? 47, 25.
year. And Brock Purdy's. Good, now the season stats were 51 to 23.
So better.
Not by a lot.
Not enough.
And this year was 20 and 12. Not a great season. For that
Yeah,
aspect.
but also lost Brandon Ayuk, and Debo was a shell of himself. And didn't have Christian McCaffrey. But like I said, if he has all the weapons, then suddenly,
Made Juwan Jennings look like a good receiver.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Plus, again, the market from when Jimmy G signed and when he's signing is vastly different.
Yeah.
So that's why, sure, if he was signing when Jimmy G was signing, I would believe you're 25, 30 mil. But now that he's signing when you got Trevor Lawrence making 55 mil a year, Tua making 55 mil a year,
Dak
Justin
60.
Herbert, Dak making 60, he's going to at least get 40 to 45 minimum. I guarantee you his hometown discount is at its lowest 45 to 50. Guarantee. In my opinion.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what John Lynch and them can come up with.
They'll figure it out. Like I said, Debo's probably gone. I think Jawan Jennings proved himself enough to where they're like, okay.
You can let him walk.
Yeah, they can let him walk because you already signed Brandon Ayuk, so you're not going to get rid of him.
Send McCaffrey to Germany or wherever you need to send him to get his stuff fixed.
I mean, you could find, I think, another back to the extent of Christian McCaffrey now in some realm. Because, let's be honest, it's mostly running back by committee now unless you're just a fucking bell cow.
Yeah.
And so, in my opinion, they are probably, like, they'll save money there too. And then they'll probably let one or two defensive guys go and try to draft that way.
Go get a Cam Scattaboo from
Cam Scattaboo? Little
You think
Scattaboo.
he's going to be like a discount Christian McCaffrey?
He's a power back.
kind of.
He's a power back, unfortunately.
Maybe
Christian,
he does both.
I know, but Christian McCaffrey, like,
And I think Cam Scatterby has more speed and quickness than people give him credit for.
yeah, but he doesn't have Christian McCaffrey's speed and quickness. He's a power back.
I guess we'll see when his.
Like when
Combine comes up. I think he
they,
might surprise people.
like
this
his
fall.
comparison has been Toby Gerhardt. That's what people have been saying.
Let's hope not.
Toby Gerhardt that catches a little bit better.
Toby Gerhardt catches.
And don't get me wrong, Toby got picked in the second round, and now he's probably owns a car dealership in Minnesota. That's my guess.
Not far off.
Probably not.
Probably not. We can look it up. Yeah, that or he does insurance. I feel like it's insurance. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
He works for Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Yeah.
How long was it for Toby Gerhardt? Was that 18? 17?
No, later than that.
Was it further back than that?
Yeah.
Was it 16? Or was it like 14?
I think it's like 14. I'll look it up though real quick.
Has it been that long?
Because he was like second
Yeah,
place.
he was
like
second behind Troy Smith of Ohio State's the closest Heisman voting in the history of Heisman.
Which
Because he should have won. He should have.
I thought he should have won.
Fuck, he's 37. 2010 draft.
Was
Jeez.
it 2010?
Yeah, 2010.
That's the
He's
sound
got to
of
be
another-
selling insurance now.
That's the sound of another gray hair coming out of
What?
He's selling insurance.
He currently works in sales for Azure Insurance Company in Nashville. Woo!
Someone's got a fucking crystal ball.
Well, what can I say? Yeah, he returned to Stanford in 2018
God.
for an MBA program, graduating 2020.
Yeah, he sells insurance.
Well,
Pretty sure you don't need an MBA to sell insurance.
He's got one.
he's got one.
Sounds like somebody else we know.
Yep. I collect degrees.
As a professional student.
They make good decorative pieces.
Yeah. Looks nice on the mantle.
He does, yeah.
And then if people are just like, oh yeah, where'd you get your degree? And be like, yeah, right there, bitch. Now,
No, that one. Oh, that one's over here.
that one's over here. We're looking for the bachelor's, or that's around the corner.
Just take a quick look around the room before you make your next
Yeah,
statement.
you'll see a few. There's the associates in the den.
A bachelor's in biology is in the bathroom.
That's about as worthless as that toilet paper that's near it. And then the master's is right here. It's the high glory. You know, lots of things.
Just stuff.
Yeah. How about these coaching changes too? Just happen out of obviousness.
There are some coaches that just they set the bar like low, and yet some of these coaches like come in and try not to win. Like when you think a bad coach happens, and then Urban Meyer comes along. I saw that name today, and that just stuck with me because they were talking about one and done coaches, and Urban Meyer was on that list. And I was like, that is.
He was a little different though, because like he was a college guy for sure.
He's still in college.
Yeah, but that's my thing though. It's like more importantly, like the one and dones and
just
stuff
hanging
like
on
that.
girls at a bar and kicking your kicker, like that's college.
But yeah, but I'm saying like with the one and dones, like, I mean, you got Antonio Pierce who 1.5 and done, but basically one and done, and then Gerard Mayo. The Mayo one, I guess, is a tiny bit shocking because it's like
they didn't give him like enough time. Like your
They didn't
team
give
was
him
in
any time.
rebuild. He got the quarterback that everybody thinks is probably going to be there.
I think what it was because the reason
He needs like 2 more.
well
years.
the
Give him 2 more
reason
drafts.
well the reason he was picked was because one, it was in the contract, but two, they're saying like he had a good hold of the locker room and able to compare the young players. And then in the last month, he was just kind of trashing the team, saying they were soft. So I think he lost the locker room. Plus, who's available currently in the position that they're in, New England's very enticing right now, in my eyes. Because you got the young quarterback on a rookie deal. You got the most cap money this year. And, sorry to say it for you, James, but outside the Bills, the AFC East is almost pretty gettable. You know, if you get the right coach, play caller there. Because the defense wasn't, that was the other thing that killed him. The New England defense is what you could hang your hat on.
Now you can't.
Now it's like, no. So, and that's what happens when you go from coordinator to head coach. You lose focus. So he just might be that guy that's, I'm a great coordinator.
But
I live in the coordinator realm.
For the Patriots, they haven't had much success even in their own division. They haven't beat Tua since he's been in Miami. They haven't beat Buffalo in probably just as long.
But again,
Basically
that's
just
the
the
thing.
Jets.
For the longest time, though, they needed the quarterback, and now they got that's what Bill needed once Tom left. They needed the quarterback. Couldn't get the quarterback, so then he left.
McCorkle.
Now they got the quarterback, but now they got to find the coach. And when you're the guy that's following Bill Belichick, that's a tough task to do it. So now that now the next guy's once removed, and you got a lot going for you. And you know the organization well enough to where it's like the Kraft family probably doesn't want to keep churning through. That they're going to give this next guy a little bit more instead, but I think they're going to go more offensively. But I do give you the credit that they need the one and done deal is kind of silly. Like, yeah, I give them a chance to build and stuff like that. Because I was looking, I had in my mind, I was curious on legendary coaches and
Who were like spent 1 year at a team and then.
well, no, like if
Saban.
these coaches, if these coaches that are legendary
more
and
than a year.
that are legendary in NFL lore,
I think it was two.
yeah, if they were in they're in NFL lore as the greatest coaches, what if they were one and done after their season? So like Chuck Noll, we could have great quarterback, great coach, right? 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He was 1-15 his first year.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, who we consider a lot the greatest coach of all time. He's 5-11.
Yeah.
His first year at New England.
Mm-hmm.
What if he got one and done? Those 6 Super Bowls are like this. Bye bye.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Landry. How many Super Bowls he got? 3? 2? He's got 2. 2. He's got 2, but pretty much started the whole Cowboys culture. 0-11. Jimmy Johnson, right? Jimmy Johnson, the Cowboys guy, won 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
He was 1-15. Bill Walsh, can we consider Bill Walsh pretty solid? What, he got 3 Super Bowls? Coached 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, greatest receiver of all time. Mm-hmm. He was 2-14. Yeah. Andy Reid. Everyone's loving Andy Reid now. It's 5-11.
Andy Reid's been through some rough times.
He's been through some rough times.
5-11. Mm-hmm. Bill Parcells. Got a couple Giants rings, took some franchising. It's 3-12.
It's a lot of.
So imagine those guys are one and done. You're sitting how many Super Bowls on the shelf? 4, 10 with Belichick, 2 more with Landry, Jimmy Johnson 2 more, Bill Walsh 3, Andy Reid 3, Bill Parcells 2. That's 22 Super Bowls. White, if those guys were one and done. And just saying, like, they can't get it done. They're great OCs, can't be head coaches. White. So, again, you got to give the guy a chance to build the culture, build the team. But I think the other thing that just was killing him was like who's available out there right now. And there are some enticing names. Like the main one going around for them is Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Kind of like Gerard
Who's just being a
Mayo.
consultant at the moment.
Yeah.
But again, he's like Gerard Mayo in the sense where
Defense.
he's defensive minded.
He can get a control of the locker room.
He's been in the Patriot locker room. He knows what's up. Difference is, already been a head coach. Had success at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a little bit more enticing. And you're getting and then now you have your quarterback of the future set up. You got a bunch of cap space. And if you get a name like Vrabel or something or other, free agents start rolling into the good names, you know. You're not throwing to people like Pop Douglas or Booty or Kendrick Bourne as your number one, who was a number 3 a year ago. You're bringing in decent names. So that's why I say that one is probably the most enticing job.
Yeah, because with the cap space, they can bring in.
You can bring in a lot.
Yeah.
And then probably the next one, it's tough to say who would be the next enticing job. Maybe Jacksonville, because that division is just, so fucking soft. They're Charmin 2-ply, bud. So,
Soft is very soft.
now the
Sponsor is Sherman.
the toughest one, in my opinion, who do you think? The one that no one really wants.
Raiders.
That's what I was thinking too.
I think the Raiders would be the team.
That's a tough division.
There's too much they need.
Well,
So
it's not that. It's just it's a tough.
It's a tough division.
It's a tough division, and you have to try to convince Mark Davis that your ass knows more than the best quarterback to ever play the game, Tom Brady, who is a minority owner.
Well, Tom said he was going to try to lend a hand in the head coaching search.
But that's my thing.
That'll be
So you have to have Tom's trust. There's not that many people out there that have Tom's trust. Oh my God, yeah. If Bill Belichick had a crystal ball, his ass would be like, "Hold on, UNC, you just wait." But could he?
He could still leave.
He could definitely leave.
He could still
Buyout's only $10 million.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's got that in his wallet.
Yeah.
So does definitely Mark Davis. They can pull together, pull the money.
You go 5, I go 5.
And the thing is, he's done it before. He was a Jet for 20 minutes. And then he was like, deuces, I'm out. So he's done it. And I think he'd rather be in the NFL. But I guess the other part is like...
Well, I mean, his girlfriend's still in college.
She is. But I also think he likes college because it's like the older NFL times. Like, yeah, some players are getting paid, but you still have a lot of control over them. Like, they have to listen to you. And now the players that are up and coming are, just a bunch of they think they know best. Our shit don't stink because I'm in the NFL, when in reality, your shit do stink sometimes.
Especially if it's in a hole.
Yeah.
That you might fall in.
Yeah.
Forwards.
You may or may not fall in. We were
debating.
A
If the hole's big enough, you'll fall in that shit.
You might have a handrail with your feet in the air.
But it's outside. There's no handrail. It's stick.
You were in with your feet up in the air, and I was just like,
Yeah, it's like
I
Well,
gotta
because
have
you
a
were saying, how am I
handrail.
supposed to shit in a hole forward? It's impossible. Unless
Just
you
laying
scoot up.
flat over the hole.
What, I'm planking now?
I mean, maybe.
You
That'd be
think
impossible to shit planking.
you think I have the core for that? I don't.
It's not a big hole. A little hole. You get post hole.
But how are you supposed to fall into a small hole? You got to fall into a decent sized hole.
That's where the bad part comes in. Is that you fall in the small hole.
But you're not. You're just going to fall to the ground.
I've fallen in a handful of holes in my lifetime. The small one.
That's what he said when people walked in. I just fell into this.
Yeah, how many shitholes have you fallen into, Cody?
At least one, I think.
No loop, nothing. He just fell into it.
Does that count ones that I made? Because then that would increase it by 2. I fell under 2.
Ones that you made. What do you mean?
Well, that would be me shitting my pants and then I shit on the ground. I could assume that there was a hole in the ground that I fell into that was now had my shit in it, so that would be a shithole.
Continual shithole.
So then that would raise it from 1 to now 3, because I've done that twice. I don't know how this got about me.
How's it about me and shitting my pants?
How
God.
did we get here?
Why does every episode always end with Cody shitting his pants?
Yeah, I like them looking at Vrabel, but they were talking about looking at Vrabel with bringing in Josh McDaniels to be their offensive coordinator, because it's two people that have both done it before and both in the New England system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Wouldn't have an issue with.
For the Raiders or the Patriots?
Patriots. And there's some coaches like you're just coordinators.
Yeah.
And I understand that the money is with the head coach and they pay
Power, the prestige.
They pay the head coach, like, but if you're a great coordinator, like just be the greatest coordinator.
Well, because like the main thing with the difference between a coordinator and a head coach is you gotta be able to lead. And some of those guys just can't do it. That's why Ben Johnson, I understand, great offensive mind. Is he a leader? Is he Dan Campbell? Like, let's be honest. If you just threw small resumes out, and you were looking at them blindly, you're gonna choose Dan Campbell as your head coach. Not like if you just had like coordinator, if you had previous jobs, not knowing their personality, I just put a list down. He's going to get chosen? Not in your life.
That means Campbell just crushed at the interview.
Oh, he did. And it just showed like he's a leader of men. He was a fucking tight ends coach in Miami.
He might have just hired himself. He would have been like, I'm going to change this place. We're going to win a Super Bowl. Thank you. I'm hired. Yeah. Thank you.
But that's my thing.
Can he do that?
But yeah, did. But like, that was like his, like, I mean, I don't know his full resume, but I know like he was a tight ends coach in Miami. And you know how they were just spitting out great tight ends all the time. Exactly. So if I pop that resume up blindly, you're not picking him to be the head coach. But then you talk to him and you're like, this man knows how to bring a locker room together.
I'll run through a wall for this man.
Does Ben Johnson have that ability? That's the question. Because if he doesn't, I guarantee you he's going to find his way out of a head coaching job within 3 years.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't, then what he needs to be able to find is he needs to be able to find his Dan Campbell to be one of his coordinators, so that way he can focus on the strategy and game plans and all that, and somebody else be the motivator.
But it's more than just motivation. Like Ben Johnson, what he gets to do is he just gets to watch game tape, focus, and create plays all the time. When you're a head coach, you're speaking to the media. You're in all the meetings. You're not just in the offensive meetings. You're doing this and that and blah, 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 blah. So your time gets completely cut. Meeting. Yeah. So then your whole point, like that's why, like Gerard Mayo, he was a great defensive coordinator, but then suddenly he gets into the head coaching position and he gets sprawled. And then suddenly the thing that you're good at, the team's not good at anymore. Brandon Staley, why did he get picked up? Because he was a great defensive-minded coordinator.
Sure.
And he would just, and then suddenly he's head coach, and then what happens? Defense is just complete fucking shit. And they're going for it on 4th and 18 from their own 12, because why the fuck not? So that's the thing. You got to be able to just, that's why I think defense, you can kind of get away with it a little bit more unless you're just a great, like, don't get me wrong, Andy Reid, great offensive-minded mind. Sean McVay, same thing. Kyle Shanahan, okay. But most of the other time, it's like defense is kind of where you want to be because you can contribute to defense a little bit, but your focus doesn't get too pulled away as it is with offense. Because, I mean, with defense, there's so many things. 4-3, 3-4, certain blitz packages or anything. But with offense, it's like you got to create the next best thing. Because you might only get to run that one play twice in the whole season, and you got to know when to pick it out and when to do that. So if your mind's being pulled to other factors, then Ben Johnson's, whenever he does get a team, it could suffer. Like he might not get the Lions putting up 35 points a game. Because also you're not going to have the same personnel.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that great offensive line. You're not going to have the great receiving core and stuff like that. So it's like, I mean, that's why he sat out last year. He could have been picked up last year, but he's like, I don't like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, personally, do you like what you're seeing this year? like of what's available, position-wise, to have immediate success. Maybe the Bears if you shore up that offensive line.
The Bears would be my only guess if he goes somewhere, but they're already leaning away from it. They're already leaning away from.
Well,
Ben
also
Johnson
it's
altogether.
like I just don't see him going within the division. That's a ballsy move.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like there's no great job. It's like, could you maybe do Dallas because you got a quarterback and you got a number one wide receiver, but now you got no money.
You got no money and you got to deal with Jerry.
You got no money and you got to deal with Jerry. So it's just like that's a headache. And
nobody wants to deal with Jerry because.
And Jacksonville,
That's
is
why
there a
they lost
possibility?
Jimmy
Well, Jacksonville, is there a possibility there? But again, you got $55 million on a quarterback that's won one playoff game.
How much money do you have on number 2 wide receivers?
Yeah. And you're giving Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk just millions upon millions. Your running back core, who you thought was pretty terrific, not so great as much.
Should have kept
And your
James
defenses
Robinson.
lack.
I said that when they traded him. I'm like, that's the dumbest fucking thing.
So yeah, it's like
he rushes for 1,000 yards,
he'd
and they're
be
like, you're gone.
he'd be up for contract by now though. Then you'd have to pay him.
Yeah.
So
But now
that's
he
what
doesn't
I'm.
even play for a team, as far as I know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's just not. There's no great appealing job enough. Like I said, Patriots are the best one, but they still got a ton of work. They got a ton of work. Are you going to be good for developing the quarterback? Sure.
And they have no defense.
But your defense, your
Because the defensive
defense,
stars that they've had in the past, all gone.
defense isn't where it needs to be. Like I said, your offensive weapons are shit right now. And just because you come over there, that doesn't mean every wide receiver is going to be like, oh yeah, let me get over to New England to.
They go up to Massachusetts.
Yeah, they need a solid
They
running
go
back.
up to Foxborough.
Stevenson's not bad. I'm not knocking
He's got the fumble
Stevenson.
issue this year, though.
But I'm just saying, like, there's no wow job.
No.
And he's just like, he's got a great gig in, Detroit. So it's like, do you just want to be a head coach to get to say, I was a head coach?
Or would you rather stay somewhere where you're winning and you have a pretty good chance
It
at
also
going to a
depends
Super
on
Bowl?
what you win. It also depends on what you win this year.
I mean, if he gets close again, does he stay again? It's possible. If they win, does he want to be like Tiki or Jerome Bettis? Not Tiki, sorry, Tiki. But he want to be like Jerome Bettis and then ride off and say, "I'm gonna go do my own thing now." Yeah, like I said, there's just none that are super appealing right now. Could you give it another year and probably someone else is gonna shit the bed? Definitely.
Let the Saints be worse.
Because let's be honest, you're not going to outlive Dan Campbell to be the successor to that. Because you guys are basically the same fucking age.
Campbell lived to be 100.
Yeah. So,
Still running out on the field.
yeah. I mean, if I'm Detroit, personally, for me, I'm like, look, we'll pay you head coaching money.
Yeah.
We'll let you talk if you want to talk.
You want to do some press conferences?
You want a little title says assistant head coach?
Yeah.
We'll do that.
That's a thing. We can make that
Yeah,
happen.
we can make that happen. You'll be the first mate, but don't go anywhere.
Just poke your head in that meeting if you want to.
Yeah.
Just right in there.
You want to say something? You want to kick a player off? We'll do it.
Yeah.
Want a bigger office?
We're not going to actually do it, but we're going to let him think we did it. You just got to hide in the bathroom whenever he comes in.
Yeah.
What corner office? You want a window?
Yeah, we'll get you a window.
You want your own private bathroom?
We'll make you a window.
We'll make it happen. Dad, get out of here.
You want yogurts in the fridge? Cokes?
Nah, he seems like a Diet Coke guy. Don't know why, but he's
Seems like a
Diet Coker.
Seems like a Diet Coke fella.
Fuck. We're down.
I was like, was that Tourette's? Like,
No, fucking stupid Riley Leonard came. Somehow Riley Leonard comes back from a fucking concussion, but Jalen Hurts takes 3 fucking weeks to get back. Feels like NFL is a little bit behind on their concussion protocols. Regardless,
They had a playoff spot already locked up.
fuck them. Stupid. What else? You guys watch TGL?
I did not. I saw some clips from it, but I didn't watch it.
Not bad. Is it something like I would just want to do? Yeah, like watching's okay, but
It looks fun.
like the rotating green is interesting. I wish they had multiple holes. It's just it's like one hole location and the green spins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I mean, it's interesting, but it's not like, I'd rather be like one hole there, one hole in the middle, one hole there. But then I understand it's like, if you land right there, it's going to throw your line off from a green standpoint. But other than that, it's an interesting concept. I'll say that.
Got a lot of viewers.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces that still need to be kind of tweaked and messed with on that. But it's a fun idea. It looks.
But for the debut, I mean,
looks
it
good.
got 900,000 people watching.
That was more. I think I got over a mil.
Now, last thing I saw said it was just over 900. Which is more than the NBA games at night.
I don't know how you make that for the average golfer though. Is like you can put it down in sand or rough or anything like that, but couldn't put it down in like pine straw or tree line like we were in today.
Well, I mean, they have the rough.
Come out with a tree branch to hold it over top of you to hit it auto, just to be like, hey, I hit it over here.
Well, mostly those guys ain't running into it, but it's an interesting format. So it's 15 holes, not 18. And the first 9 holes are alternate shot, and then the last, triple team, whatever, and then the last 6 holes are single play or solo. So it's like 3 guys to a team, and you alternate shot. First dude drives, second, is your second shot, third putting if you're on there, third there, and then 4 putt, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, it goes to this guy versus this guy on this hole. This guy versus this guy on the next hole, this guy versus this guy on the next hole, and then it repeats. And then they have a thing called the challenge. So they literally have like a yellow flag, or it's called the hammer. Sorry, it's called the hammer. If you throw that down, then the hole's worth 2 points instead of 1. And then it's like match play. If you have enough to win the whole match.
Is it an actual hammer?
No, it's a yellow flag. Yeah, I know, they missed out on that. But it has to be, it's a weird rule, so it's like if you throw the hammer in on like a putt or something, then it has to be accepted by the opposite team. But if you throw the hammer at the beginning of the hole before it even starts, it's accepted no matter what. And then once one team throws the hammer, then the other team gets the hammer and holds it whenever they want to use it.
Are the golfers mic'd up?
Yes.
They are, yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, they were shit talking.
Just the level of just shit talking at that level.
Well,
First
off,
Yeah,
it's television, all right. It's national TV, so they're not saying like you piece of fucking shit.
You can do whatever.
I mean, they do on the PGA Tour when you hear them when they're just close up to a mic.
Just close.
Yeah,
You
but
like,
that's
this is
different.
fucking
You're in
idiot.
big competition mode. With here, it's like, it wasn't
Or they're
like
saying they fucking suck at golf. When
yeah,
they
it
miss
wasn't
a
like
putt.
Xander Schauffele was like, Lubick, you fucking Swedish asshole, you better miss this fucking putt, or I'm gonna kick your ass back to fucking Finland.
That would make it watchable.
It would.
I would watch it a lot more. You
Even
get a lot of
people
ratings.
that are not
But
golf
I don't
fans will be
think
like,
I don't
"We
think
gotta
the
hear
wonderful
this."
people at ESPN/woke ABC are gonna be like, I think we can't show that.
You let McAfee on. McAfee runs a little wild sometimes. Like you let McAfee.
No,
do it.
they're closed up whenever they're on ESPN. Now the second it switches over to YouTube, then they're dropping F-bombs like it's their job.
They've had a couple shits.
They've
and fucks on.
Well, they've had
ESPN.
some slips, which they allow, but it's like I couldn't be on there. They'd be like, "You cuss way too fucking much." They'd be like, "Oh, you're saying I fucking cuss too much? I fucking cuss too much? Yeah, you're doing it right now, asshole." But I mean, I liked it. It's worthy of a watch. I mean, for the first year, there's gonna be some tweaks. I definitely see some changes, but it's a nice prep up to the golf season in which you're like, I'm waiting for the Masters to get here, and then I'm waiting for the PGA Championship to get here. I still need your money. Nice segue. And then the US Open, and then the Open Championship.
I did tell him today because his commentary in the background of recording us. I'm like, we're gonna have like you recording during golf and just having this commentary post. I was like, it'd be hilarious while we're at the PGA Championship.
When is that?
May.
What do I need again?
600.
Should ask Mom for it while she was here.
We'll run it by her.
Tammy!
Come over here.
But yeah, so it's interesting. I like like how the screen's like it's 24 times the size of a regular simulator screen. Like it's 5 stories tall.
Yeah, it's like 60 feet tall.
Yeah. So
Because one of the guys was like, "Man, how embarrassing would it be if I missed this 60-foot screen?"
that was Shane
Yeah.
Lowry. He was just like he didn't mic himself up because he was just like I just don't want to fucking miss.
Yeah, because it's a 60-foot, like 60 by 60 screen. It's like,
No, I'd find a way to miss it.
yeah. Oh, we would.
No,
And we had a couple shanks. You shanked one out of a bunker. I shanked one from a fairway.
I shanked one out of a bunker into a ditch. It almost made the ditch.
Yeah, me and Cody did have 2 of the best bunker shots that me and him have hit in a long time. I did it first, and then Cody was like, "I hit a great bunker shot." And Cody was like, "I'm gonna have to see that again."
Neil.
So he did the fireball shot. Maybe do it again. Didn't make it out of the bunker. Now they were long bunker shots too. We had probably 10 or 15 yards of bunker to cover.
That's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough to do.
I stuck mine to 2 feet, right at 2 feet, and they could maybe hit.
These
it
are
again.
green side bunkers.
Yeah,
Okay.
big bunkers though. Like I said,
Soft sand, hard sand. Feels like definitely
Yeah, it was
soft
Yeah.
sand.
soft
pretty
sand.
but it wasn't
Okay,
that deep.
Nintendo,
Like there wasn't a lot of sand. So you can get to the bottom
okay,
pretty
you can
good.
get up there.
So I hit a great one. Cody was like, I almost forgot about it. He's like, I'm gonna need to see that again. I'm like, son of a bitch, you're making me do this again. I'm like, this isn't gonna go well. And it didn't. It went like just to the beginning of the bunker. Like didn't make it out of the bunker. So then Cody gets up there and Jeremy blades his across the other side of the green. Then Cody sticks it to like 3.5 feet. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to see that again. So then I make him do it and he doesn't make it out of the bunker. And I was like, good uses. We had to walk and pick up our 2 balls that were inside 3 feet on 20-yard bunker shots.
It's like, these are good. Somebody should use these. It's not us, but whatever.
And Lane and Jeremy, we had to use Lane and Jeremy's shots and neither one of them were on the green. They were just off. So I was like, but Cody's banging 3 putts in a row was fucking insane. And they weren't even that close. It was like a 15-foot putt.
Well, you got to think he already had his line.
Jeremy missed it.
I already had my line. I had my speed. I just got to that's muscle memory at this point.
No, it was like 3 different putts because the first one had a little too much speed because it banged the flag and went in. And I'm like, I'm gonna see that again. He's probably gonna miss this. Second one had a little bit of a dying pace. It just trickled in. And third one, I didn't even watch. I was like, fuck this. After I drank mine, and then as I'm walking back with Lane was like, fuck, do it again. Because I didn't even see him make the
We're
second
doing
one.
one more time.
And I was like, all right, Tyler, here's yours. And then he makes it again, and he's like, fuck. Tyler was like, damn it, as he was drinking it.
Always solid.
I was like, ah, damn it. But most of them, other than that one, most of the redos for us today were worth it.
They worked out,
Yeah, there weren't too many. Like on the last hole, if there weren't people behind us on the front nine where we were actually recording, I probably would have drank and made Cody re-putt. It was like a 5-foot putt, but there was like 2 people who were like playing fucking, they were running. Because we finished par 5, went to the par 3, hit our shots up, and then got on the green. We looked back as we're getting ready to putt for par, and they're on the tee box waiting. I'm like, how fucking fast were they playing that par 5?
Maybe they're just really good.
They just ran it. No,
Well, there was only 2 of them.
There was only 2 of them, and they only had, I think, one of them even play.
Yeah, because we let them pass us on the back nine.
One guy walked up, hit a tee, and they both took off. I'm like,
Yeah, only one hit a ball, and then they both drove off, and I was like, weird. But they both had clubs.
just here for moral support, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, okay, weird. But then they took forever on the last hole because we went
Ernesto.
inside,
Yeah,
and they had the
Ernesto trip.
clubhouse. The grill was closed in the clubhouse.
I'm here for
And we had to walk around to the pro shop and like, can we buy drinks or something? They're like, yeah, sure. So we were like 20 minutes in the clubhouse trying to get drinks and stuff because they had closed the grill. And we went out and we never saw them, so we assumed they passed us. And then they caught us on hole 2 because we started on the back. I think hole 2 they caught up to us, and I'm like, where the fuck were they? Like
in our time.
They were on our ass the whole last 2 or 3 holes.
He's fixing a divot.
But it was I think the front nine was fine, and then they got a little chilly.
Yeah, it was
Back then it got a little chilly.
Got a little cold.
Yeah.
That's how life works.
It's like 10 more degrees warmer. It would have been nice.
Yeah. or without the wind.
Because it was cold from the start, and then it was wind, and then it started to get windier as the day went on.
What's that?